Okay, as we approach the 50th anniversary of the Detroit Rebellion, the Detroit Journalism Cooperative has filed several reports on issues that led to the uprising and how things stand today. One of these concerns, of course, is poverty. Our One Detroit team examined a nationwide program that is changing the way we view poverty and offering a new way of helping people transition to success.
Where am I going to sleep tonight? Where is my next meal coming from? These are uncertainties for more than 46 million Americans living in poverty. In fact, living in poverty itself is the only certainty they can count on. 1 in 5 children in the U.S. are living in poverty. For Denise McNair, constant impoverishment was a way of life growing up on Detroit's west side.
We lived in an apartment duplex. My mother, she working and struggling and trying to make ends meet, and we had to wear our clothes twice a week. You don't know you're poor or you lack until somebody says something.
The United States has the second highest child poverty rate in the industrialized world, with more than 15 million children living in long-term poverty. Complications from insufficient food or food insecurities have lasting effects on children.
The development of their brains changes. Those areas of the brain are directly related to the ability to learn, to stable emotional response, memory, cognition. So young children who do not get enough to eat are on the track right out the gate for having struggles and barriers and issues that will prevent them from moving out of poverty as adults.
Nobody wants to be poor. It's just that situations and circumstances, things happen. And if we're not properly taught how to deal with the situations, we be introduced to ways to deal with situations.
With fading hope, at 16, she would have a child, drop out of school, and turn to drugs and alcohol to mask the pain of being poor and forgotten. She would later be arrested and imprisoned.
I had snatched her purse and ran out. And then she called the police, and then they came and got me.
Once released, Denise was accepted into a program that has a new way of treating poverty.
There is no system of care in this country that frames poverty as a medically based, environmentally based condition. When anybody, regardless of age, race, religion, culture, is exposed to lack of access of food, lack of access to housing, crime, lack of access to health care, substandard schools, lead to, statistically speaking, sicker lives, shorter lives, and much higher expense related in the medical world.
The U.S. spends more than $1 trillion a year to fight poverty. Marcella Wilson, Ph.D., is changing the landscape and thought process of treating poverty.
I don't believe that we're not doing enough to help the poor in this country. The problem is we're not doing it properly.
A former healthcare worker, Marcella has developed a new standard of care which analyzes and suggests best practices with transitions to success.
The standard of care for the treatment of condition of poverty is a training program that first teaches how to understand poverty as a treatable condition, and that treatment plan identifies all paths that must be followed. That same data then is collected across different systems, compiled, compared with the best in research, and then the protocols change. They get better because research and the data we collect from patients continually tells us how to do it better.
By standardizing care, for the first time ever, the team can see best practices throughout the process and fix those that aren't working, in addition to navigating multiple platforms across departmental systems.
So what you have are these mega systems: education, healthcare, human services, criminal justice, but none of them working in concert or related to one another, and no consistent theoretical framework from which all of them to operate from. And that's what this model brings to the United States.
This is the church I went to every Sunday.
Going back to where she started the program, Denise recalls how the transformation began.
It lessens the worries. They gave you everything you needed. It's just that you had to take advantage of it. You had to change the way you thought. You had to change your attitudes and beliefs about life.
The explanation is that regardless of who you are, where you come from, when you get support, navigating all the services that you're eligible for, real mentoring, real navigation, and you combine it with volunteerism, peer mentoring, financial literacy.
They build your self-esteem, they build your self-worth, they build, you have courage to go out there and do what you need to do. They give you the tools to go and do it.
In addition to compiling financial assistance resources available to each individual, self-building, and mapping their dreams, participants also work on occupational skill, building the process, preparing them for gainful employment.
They got the job training. She built us up for the interviews. I knew what to say. I knew how to dress. I knew that my dress was in order. I knew my response was going to be in order.
They're employed and they're a contributing member of society and they're paying their child support and they're paying their taxes. This has potential to have profound return on investment.
The program has become a nationwide success, gaining the attention of the Center for Disease Control and recognized as a Clinton Global Initiative.
Those presentations around the country have sparked 14 pilots that are now operating around the United States.
The results of the program have led to drastic improvements in lowering recidivism rates, improving Head Start programs, and mental health by treating poverty holistically. Inspired to achieve her dream, Denise did something she never thought possible.
My anger turned into inspiration. The very next day I called the WC3 and asked about their GED program. So I went on to get my GED, and I went on to get my associates, my bachelor's and my master's from Wayne State.
For this high school dropout, now armed with a master's degree, she found her dream.
And I have an education, I have employment, I take care of myself, I do things that I'm supposed to do. My goal was always to bring the families together. I was born a social worker.
All right, that's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org. And as always, you can connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll see you next time.